Pray together. Heavenly Father, we are grateful today to be able to be gathered together. And we are grateful for, Lord, your faithfulness and your goodness. We want to give you glory today for that. In the way that you see us with eyes of mercy, you hear us with ears of grace. You are good, you are faithful, and we just give you glory. And now, today in this time of fellowship, bless our talks, and be in the midst of us. And thank you for this food. Bless the hands that prepared it. And Lord, today just inspire us, empower us to be servants and elements of change in our community. We love you, we're grateful. In Jesus' name, amen.
So join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think Tony's got our song today, don't you, Tony? All right. Okay, in honor of Paul Mitchell and his program today, we're going to sing a song I don't believe you guys have sung before, Down to the River to Pray. And so Nancy is going to play through one time, and we'll all join in. If you've ever seen the movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, you know this song. And thank you for setting up today. I know we've got some guests with us. Phil?
Yes. I have my wife with us today, my daughter, son, and who was quite a ton of help. He flew in yesterday. Her husband, Sami. Sami is Finnish, and he was a Rotary ambassador back in the day when he was a teenager in high school. And enjoyed it so much, came back to the United States to make a living. Been over here for 35, 40 years.
Welcome. Brandon?
I have once again Angela from our workforce program, Boys and Girls Club, and Lieutenant Allie with us today.
And Allie submitted her membership application, and that's going around for the board to vote on.
No other guests, I don't think it's on.
I don't have enough kids, but I did want to mention one thing.
I'm sorry, can you stand up? Is it? Thank you.
Sonny's sister was a former president of the Rotary Club in Finland, where she lived.
Cool.
Kind of runs in the family.
That's awesome. All right, I'm going to start the announcements, and then I'm going to let Sam talk. He's got an announcement. We've got two things here. The membership summit next Thursday, August 27th to the 22nd at Sedgefield, and then the foundation banquet, which is Saturday, November 7th. The High Point Rockers game is this Thursday. If you're interested in going to that, please let Kim know, and we'll get you signed up for that. But the High Point Rockers game, Rotary having this Thursday. The two for the foundation banquet and the membership summit, I'm going to pass this around. So let's get some folks signed up for that. All right. Sam, you want to make your announcement?
Okay. Karen Slade asked me to remind everybody about Hook and Style. Thank you very much for all those that have been sponsors and helped and Rotary Club and all that in the past. And this year, it's Saturday, August the 24th. It's at Greensboro Country Club again. And you know, all the proceeds and everything benefit the children and helps buy clothes in conjunction with the elves. And they have a runway for a fashion show and all that. Some of you've been. It's a really great opportunity. So I have tickets if you're interested in going at August 24th. It's from like 9 to 12. So brunch. Tickets are $45. Yep.
Thanks, Sam.
She's also looking for sponsorships, I'm sure.
Yes, we're still set that.
Yes, they will still accept sponsorships if you're interested in sponsoring her inside. All right. I'll make the announcement. The board is meeting tonight via Zoom at 5:15 to make sure we have everything in order for the district governor visit next week. Again, 5:15 tonight for the board, and then 11 o'clock here at the club before the regular meeting with the district governor next week as well. So I'll send out a link. I think the link has gotten deleted from Zoom, but I'll send that out here this afternoon. Other announcements. Big thing again, if you can be here via Zoom or bring a guest or be here in person, please do your best to make an effort to be here. I know United Way is looking for volunteers for their fund distribution panels. If you're able to do that, that's in the bulletin as well. Blood drive is tomorrow. Yeah, Larry, I appreciate all your work on that very much. 1:30 to 6, anything special about tomorrow?
So we have a good turnout tomorrow, which is unusual. We have only 2 slots available. We have one at 2:30 for blood red and one at 3:30 for someone who gets just a regular donation. But we usually have some people who don't come or get turned down. So if you drop by, it's very likely you can get it.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, thank you. There is a car back that was back by the food table. If you didn't go through the food line, sign for Roger. That would mean a lot to him coming from everybody in the club. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. A couple other members, and I don't know what I can and can't discuss. They've got some family members, some people in this club. There's some family members of them that need thoughts and prayers right now. Tommy?
Hey, let me just announce 2 things. One, we all know what it means to us. Her mother is very sick. She has stage 4 lung cancer. That's known now. And it has spread to multiple parts of her body. So keep her in her thoughts and prayers, please. I don't think she'll mind me telling that to everybody here. So, David, about 8 or 9 months ago, when I had my little scare, he came up to the office and was talking to me and he said, let everybody know what's going on because there's power in numbers. So here we go. And so think about that. On the other side, I'll just go ahead and announce we have our 3rd grade kid Friday. It was an emergency. There was a problem, and little dude is in Baptist Hospital at the premature unit right now. But that was last Friday, scared everybody to death. But he turned the corner yesterday, and he's finally breathing on his own. He actually decided that he liked breast milk, and he is now eating, so we think we're clear.
What's his name?
His name is Thomasville. So, yeah, keep hope, because it's been a struggle for them. And will continue to be so until, because they're not getting what they need. She's in bad shape.
I'm Denise Griffin. I just wanted to say, last year I went through my own health crisis, and all of you, I got cards and I had lots of prayers, and I felt those prayers. And as Tommy was talking, I wanted you to know how much I appreciate it.
It says a lot when you want to stick around with Phil for a while. All right. Other announcements. We do have another club member, and again, I don't know. I think it's well known. Christian grew up really close with his grandmother, and she's not doing well, so Christian's got to go down and visit with her. So he's traveling quite a bit to see her. Keep Christian in your thoughts and prayers, if you will, as well. Other announcements? Okay. Split the pot. That was just helping out. Candace and Jenner split the pots. Splits the pots.
That was a compliment, because I get to visit with each of you at the table and interaction.
That's right.
About putting in some money, right? We won't call any names, I'll just look at them. Today, we did collect $95. So the total in the pot is $956. So if you get the card today, you get $478.
$478. Back to school shopping.
I know. Yes, that's what happens when you sit up front. All righty, the last three digits, 493.
You technically, mathematically, there's a chance. Oh! Jack of hearts. Jack of hearts. Good draw. All right, before I call Paul up, we're going to have just a couple minutes of fun here. And we're going to play Would You Rather. You know I love these questions. So Luke and I just had a long drive to and from Cincinnati. And he hates Would You Rather, so I just came up with stupid questions. So I'm going to ask this one. I'll ask Cindy. Cindy, would you rather go skydiving or bungee jumping? Why?
Maybe skydiving, just because I hate to fly and I want to get out from the plane and get back to the ground.
All right, that works. Who in here likes pizza? Raise your hand if you like pizza. All right. I'm going to save one for you later. All right, Deb, I'll ask you. Would you rather only eat pizza the rest of your life or never eat pizza again? Okay. All right. Who's our fashionista? Who loves clothes in here? Like, who just can't wait to go back to school shopping for clothes? Even if you don't have kids in school.
Hunter Cribs, I'm looking at you. Man is aggressive.
All right, we'll ask Hunter. Hunter, would you rather wear the same clothes different outfit every day?
Let them pick it out. I can do the same one.
Okay. Easy one. You will. Scott, you're vocal today. Would you rather have a desk job or a physically demanding job?
Well, I've got a desk job. I had a physical demanding job. The desk job pays a lot better, so I guess a desk job.
Desk job. All right. Doc, I'm glad you're back with us, but I gotta know, would you rather watch State win or watch Duke lose? Rather watch See, I was in trouble if you or Matt were not here. Neither one. Let's go. All right, Coach, I'm gonna ask you this. Would you rather have to walk backwards forever or crawl forever?
Oh, man. I guess walk backwards because the thoughts of crawling is not appealing.
You touch across the street, either way. All right, that's today's fun time. All right, I'm gonna call Paul, and Paul is gonna introduce the program for today.
Good afternoon. There are a lot of great things going on at the Yadkin River Park, and there are unfortunately a lot of things going on in this talk. So we'll count on David's help. We're going to begin with a couple of short videos that come from the High Rock Lake Life website, and then we got a PowerPoint. I want to introduce my special guest, Guy Corman. Guy is a lifelong resident of Lexington and transferred to Lexington High School and North Carolina State. And his other habits are good also. We met at the Yarborough Civil War Roundtable almost 40 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. Guy is the retired director of the Davidson County Planning and Zoning Department, and he trained two deputies so well that when he left, he was irreplaceable by one man. So Lee Krug and Scott Leonard are his replacements in planning and in zoning. He also belongs to the Lake Tomalex Committee, along with our council member Stires here. Is he on? Okay, well, great. It's good to know. But we're going to work on this program together. At this point, I'll ask David to come up and play the first of two videos. The centerpiece of the park is the Yadkin River Bridge. It's 100 years old this year. The Wilcox Bridge, and it's a beautiful thing. It should be the very first. There she is. Bring her over here.
Oh gosh. I'm going to work backwards. I'm trying.
studio is about 2 weeks old. We've got us about an $800,000 playground that was paid for totally by grants. Thomas Marshburn, our park director, is just a fabulous worker, and this is a wonderful thing. It is visible from the interstate, so we're averaging between 30 and 100 children a day. They see it as they go by. Playground. There's also a dog park, which was visible. And there's a fort, the last battle of the Civil War in this area, April the 12th, 1865, 3 days after Lee surrendered, is on top of that hill. So those are all parts of the park.
Let me just also mention too, Paul, that I hope you notice that 2 of the pieces in the playground, one of them is shaped in the form of a train, so we're trying to educate the children at their early age of the historical, what I was saying is that the 2 of the pieces in the playground equipment, one is shaped like a train, reminiscence of the Southern Railway history of the area and their facility there in Spencer, and also is shaped, another one is shaped like the Wilcox Bridge itself. So, all right, that's that. Did everybody hear what I was trying to say?
We had the wrong presentation. We had the actual battle presentation. This one looks more like the original one. Thanks, David.
Paul, while he's getting out, I'm going to give them a little history. People wonder why I stayed on with the county an extra 6 years beyond my 30 years. And one was because I had a labor of love with the Wilcox Bridge. It was something that really meant something to me. Some of you may have heard that my grandfather on my mother's side was actually one of the original engineers to help design the bridge back in 1918. He graduated from North Carolina A&M College, which was then, later became NC State. But he actually moved, he graduated from state in 1917 and then moved to Baton, North Carolina, where he was working on the, with the French company that was building the dam down in Baton, North Carolina. Well, that was the year of the pandemic, the Spanish flu pandemic. He married my grandmother. and they were living actually in a tent on a platform down there at the construction site. So it was a horrible winter, and so he got her out of there. She didn't want any part of that. So they moved to Salisbury, and then he went to work with the Highway Commission, and that's where he started designing and helping to oversee the construction. I just wish that I had listened to him more on his visits to our house in Lexington to have gotten more knowledge of how the construction actually worked. But we've got some photos here that we can show you how they actually poured concrete into the spandrel arches. The spandrel arches that you see on the left there's 7 of them, I believe, and they're 150 feet in width. The length of the bridge is about 1,300 linear feet.
When North Carolina DOT put together the I-85 bridge, the new bridge, they tore the old bridge down, and while they were tearing down, they planned on pulling this bridge down. And they figured out that it would cost, I think, about $2 million to do that. And someone suggested, why don't you just see if you can give it to Davidson and Rowan counties and give them the money to keep it up. So we agreed to do that, and at the last minute, there was an election in Rowan County, and they backed out. So Davidson's conservative penny pension board said, we'll take it. So it's a Davidson County park. And now, by the grace of God, Rowan County's back on board. On September 21st, and I'll probably be contacting some of you about seeing if you want to come volunteer to help us. We're having the 100th anniversary, the centennial of the park. We're going to have bands, we're going to have booths, we're going to have tours of the fort. So we'll be in touch about that. So the first slide I'm showing you is that the park and the bridge are part of Piedmont Legacy Trails. There are any number of trails that come through there. There are bike trails, hiking trails, and of course river trails. TRIP, T-R-I-P, is the Tourism Recreation and Investment Partnership. One of the founders was Guy. By the way, Guy is vice chairman of the Yadkin River Park Committee. And Chris Phelps is the director or the president, and this is his PowerPoint. That gives you a little bit of background on that. We've had millions of dollars contributed to the park. We've got, what, 200 acres, 300 acres? How much have we got? A bunch of acres. When they built the new 85, the old 85, had a bunch of right-of-way, so we were given the right-of-way, and Thomas Marshburn, our park director, built a dog park over the right-of-way. So when you come to the park, and I hope you will, you'll see that. This is one of the trails we have, the Yadkin River State Trail. It goes the length of the Yadkin down to, goes on down to where it becomes the PD. But in the middle there, in the red box, you see the big star by the Yadkin River Bridge and the park. This is the past of the park, and you can see Hedrick's Ferry there and the trading ford. The trading ford is in the general area of the park. The trading ford has been in use since the first humans were in the valley. We're talking 15 to 20,000 years ago when Native Americans used I-85, but they didn't call it I-85. And then we had Spanish soldiers with a fort in there, which we haven't found yet. And on and on and on. A lot of history there. But part of the players, one of the most important and most famous players, Daniel Boone. And we have a Daniel Boone River Trail, which is very similar to the Yadkin River Trail. But this highlights important places in the life and the career of Daniel Boone. Not 10 miles away, as the crow flies, probably closer, is Boone's Cave County Park. And for my money, I believe it's probably the nicest county park in North Carolina, other than the Yadkin River Park. But it's a fabulous place, and if you haven't been to Boone's Cave Park, I recommend you go there. This is kind of a close-up of the park area. The trading path, which united the eastern United States pretty much, came down and crossed, a half a mile below the bridge?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Trading forward path, yes.
And it moves around, and the path was used for so long that in places it's 10 to 15 feet deep. But there are still parts of the original trail. George Washington crossed at the trading path when he had his southern tour after the Revolutionary War, and we have a splendid relic hunter and historian, Jerry Myers, who found a button from the coat of one of the entourage of George Washington. In those days, they would make special buttons to celebrate events. And somehow, some way, one of those soldiers lost a button down on the water. Jerry won't tell us where he found it, but he found it. And this shows you some of the other crossings of the river. If I'm not mistaken, the Wilcox Bridge was the first crossing of the Act, first bridge?
The first free bridge.
Okay, first free bridge. That's good. These are some of the historic personages. The Revolutionary War our cause was saved when Nathaniel Greene won the race to the Yadkin. He was running away from Cornwallis after our victories at Calkins and Kings Mountain. And he was racing to get to the river before Tarleton's cavalry. He made it by 4 hours. They got across, they were just pushing off the last boat when Tarleton, the cavalryman, came riding up in a huff. And Greene had the foresight to take all the boats across the river. So the British had to go upstream all the way to Shalford, and then another race began to save the army all the way to the Dan River. He won that one by 6 hours. He rested and refitted in Virginia and came back to North Carolina, and at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse, he destroyed, effectively, Cornwallis' army. Cornwallis kept the field, though, so he claimed victory, but Cornwallis' army was destroyed, and he limped to Yorktown, where the French helped us to gang up on the bad guys, the British. And so, very important. We do have George Washington, of course, because he came through the area, and you see a postcard that's about 100 years old for the Wilcox Bridge. See the old train and Daniel Boone, and we used to mainly use ferries in the area. This is the present. Chris Phelps put in the same slide again for the Daniel Boone Trail because we have a tremendous amount of kayaking and canoeing. It's just a wonderful opportunity. In fact, on the celebration day, we're going to have a big canoe at the end of it in the late afternoon. We're piggybacking on Creek Week. Every year, right after Labor Day, Rowan County Spencer sponsor a Creek Week, which generally culminates in the big kayak event. Now I'm going to ask Guy to step over here. He does know all about the cast concrete construction, and he shows some of these, he'll tell you a little bit some of these old photographs.
As you can see, the sandrail arches, they are quite prominent. I think you might be able to see there was a pulley system that was above the bridge there, and it went back and forth from the Rowan to the Davidson County. Then they poured the concrete into those arches there, and that was quite an engineering feat they had to use. I remember my grandfather talking about using steam jackhammers. They had to use quite a bit of dynamite or TNT to blast the rock. But when we started working with the bridge, we actually found some of the, I guess, hooks.
We do have alligators.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where they actually attached.
Things that are stuck in the ground made out of metal.
Yeah. But they use that part of the pulley system. The two photographs down in the bottom there is the actual day of the dedication ceremony when they opened the bridge, and you can see it was quite a crowd. They started construction in 1922, The budget for the total construction was about $200,000. Can you imagine what a bridge that length would cost today? It's quite a feat. You got a lot done for $200,000, I thought. But they finished it up in 1924, and again, that's, I believe, in September of 1924, when the ribbon cutting on the bridge was.
I've got a slide here that shows the citizen input, which we've had from the start. Of course, we have no county employees on the committee, but we do have 3 commissioners, and they're very engaged. Karen Watford of Thomasville is on there, Steve Shell, and Fred McClure. Fred and Guy are the last 2 standing from the first groups that had the exploratory meetings over at the Transportation Museum in 1999 or 2000, I believe. I attended 3 or 4 meetings and then I lost interest, but they dragged me back. I'll let Guy say just a little bit about this. This is, the centerpiece is the fort on top. The yellow lines are trenches. The original fort was about twice as big, but they put the highway in for Wilcox Lake and Wilcox Bridge. Then they put in 2970, which went over the bridge. And then they put in I-85 and then New 85. So most of the fort on that side is gone. The white walking trails are up there tonight today. And we have tours. We'll give you a tour of the park. And down the side, we have, I'm delighted that David was able to show the video of the brand new recreation playground, the dog garden, the dog park, parking lot. And we call that up top, and then down below, we have some other features, of course, mainly the bridge. We're going to have another wonderful thing up here in the upper left, which is the environmental center. That'll be really nice, because we're going to be selling worms to the fishermen who use the landing. I haven't even mentioned that, but the landing down low on the river is where people have been launching boats and kayaks for 60, 70 years. Thanks to Alcoa and now HYCO.
Cube Hydro.
Cube Hydro is what we're calling it. So there's a lot going on in the park.
Let me just say a couple of things before I forget it. Wilcox Bridge, a lot of people ask, how did you get that name? And there were 2 highway commissioners. That's what it's named for. Mr. Wilkins from, W. Wilkins from Charlotte, and Elwood P. Cox from High Point, so they combined the 2 names in Wilcox. That's how that name came about.
Here we show some groundbreaking. Guy can speak to this just a little better because he was more intimately involved.
Okay, I think that was probably about 1915 when we first took ownership of the bridge, and we were
1950?
Excuse me, 2015.
It all runs together.
Yeah.
If you haven't been, you'll be astonished if you go, because there's so many beautiful things.
There's only 6 bridges in the state that are public span rail type bridge, and only a couple of those are still being used for traffic. We were lucky to convert ours to a light pedestrian bridge.
Yes, you go to Saluda, there's a bridge there, but it's totally abandoned on the side of the current bridge. So it's a wonderful feature.
A couple other things I just thought of too, I'm thinking. The day of the celebration, we actually invited the governor of Florida. He didn't make it up there, but he did send a representative. And the reason being is it opened up a whole other tourism route to the state of Florida. Highway 10, the state decided it was going to build 3 highways in North Carolina. One on the northern side of the state, the middle part of the state through the Triad area, which was Highway 10, and then Southern Highway, and that was Highway 24 and 27, which you might be familiar. But I thought that was quite interesting.
It's not just I-85. it was I-95 too. In other words, this was the first bridge, the first free bridge over the Yadkin River. And so it's a fabulous thing, a great concept. And just imagine what it would be like in North Carolina or the United States now without all those bridges and all of those roads, and now this is what's there. This shows we have a fabulous set of steps that go from the top, that's the edge of the bridge at the very top, down to the area where the landing is for the boats.
There's a lot of fishermen who use that too as well.
And we also have campsites, which are available for campers and kayakers and canoers and the like. This is a little bit different slide of the fort itself. We're learning things about it all the time. The battle was fought after Lee surrendered on April the 12th of 65. Only 1 or 2 men were killed. And we pretty much think that they got so sick and tired of the war, and they knew how it was going to end, so nobody wanted to get killed. And there weren't very many killed. Ironically enough, all of the Union soldiers were from the South. They were from the mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee. It was a raid by Stoneman to free the prisoners at the prison in Salisbury, but they'd already been released. On the other hand, the majority of the Confederate soldiers were from the North. Most of those were Catholics who had been Yankee prisoners, and they decided to take up arms for the Confederacy to get out of the prison. So it's it points out some of the ironies and tragedies of the Civil War. Just a few to go. This shows the settlement. When Alcoa renewed its license some years ago, was it FEMA? It's not FEMA, it's some other. FERC
Energy Regulatory Commission.
FERC made them do certain things to keep their license. And one of the things is the projects that they've been helping us with in this area. But they're all up and down the activity.
I spent 2 years of my life going back and forth from Lexington to Dayton during the relicensing settlement agreement. Okay.
So that's just a taste of what we have at the Yadkin River Park. It's your county park. And I'll be getting in touch with you to see if I can get some volunteers. You get a t-shirt. But we're trying to get volunteers for a couple hours on that day. We're not serving beer on the bridge or on the Davidson County side because our sheriff has declined to give us a license. Rowan is on the other side. And we'll also have historic fire engines that's about 100 years old from Davidson County and the like. So I appreciate your attention. Are there any questions? Kim?
What was the date? Was that September 21st?
September the 21st, it's on a Saturday.
What time?
1 to 6 p.m.
Phil?
Well, what's the exit off of 85? Best day.
Exit 84.
It's Highway 150.
Oh, okay.
But it's exit 84 off of Interstate 85.
Yes, sir.
Ignorance is extensive. I'll just ask him, what is free bridge?
Get across all that way.
At the same time, kind of get
Everything else was either a ferry or a toll bridge. We had some old rickety wooden bridges. President Davis of the Confederacy crossed on a rickety bridge or a boat. We're not really sure. Anything else? Yes, Tom.
Might be silly, but how do you get a bridge there?
You can't get there from here. It's kind of a convoluted thing. It's on the water, of course, but
I mean, you have to walk, you can't drive.
oh no, yeah, you have to drive.
Yeah, there's the Booth Cave Road off of Highway 150. Just north of Church, I'm sure.
Yeah, 150 is a beautiful road. That was the road George Washington traveled.
I'll add a little bit to the education that the southern route 24 and 27 goes right through Bisco.
Yes, sir. God's country.
It's our only stoplight when I was a kid.
Okay. Thank you for your attention and for your and for
It's actually a much longer bridge than the Wilcox Bridge is.
Okay. Well, I learned something with that. All right. Thank you. and I saw my retirement coming up, and I needed a way to stay busy. A guy called me one day and said, "Would you like to be the chairman of the committee?" And I said, "Well, I don't think I ought to start at the top. I'd really like to be on the committee." And he said, "Paul, you don't have any talents or abilities that would qualify you to be a member of our committee." Which I knew. So I said, "Well, why are you calling me?" He said, "Because you have gravity." I said, "You mean you're telling me I got white hair and wrinkles?" But he's my right-hand man. He knows everybody next.
Yeah, he followed up, Dr. Max Walson, he was on the board at the time that the bridge was being discussed and taken over by the county. As Paul graciously stepped in after Max had finished his time.
Well, we appreciate that, and I'll finish today with a quick joke, as you know I like to do. Last year I went fishing with Salvador Dali. He was using a dotted line and caught every other fish. Since we were talking about fishing today.